What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Dean, a person I battled off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle Discord, a place to hang out and find Wi-Fi battles, a link to my Discord will be in the description to all who are interested. And now before we get into this Wi-Fi battle, if you guys are enjoying my Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle content and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video as it keeps me inspired to make daily uploads for you guys. And you know, it's the best way to help out my channel's growth, so if you want to see my channel grow, be sure to hit that like button. Now me and Dean are having a rarely used battle, as Dean's team looks pretty threatening. Honestly, nice looking standard RE team, but no Snorlax or Doublade, so it's actually like a miracle that there's no Snorlax or Doublade in 2 consecutive RE battles. I didn't think that was actually possible, but here we are. Now I'm using a Bolt Beam Explosion team with Mummy King and Z-Move, Durant, and Assaultvest Gudra. Very interesting team, as my ground resistance does not exist, so my opponent does notice that my ground resist does not exist and leads off with the Flygon, as I decided to lead off with my Alolan Golem because I figured I may as well just lead off with it, get up my rocks ASAP, but my opponent leads off a Flygon, though I do carry the Air Balloon, so I can avoid the Earthquake. So I'm hoping that my opponent sees that I have Air Balloon. So I'm going to pull a Heart Switch directly into Microphagus because I want to just burn this thing if I can, as Flygon just goes for U-turn because he wants to pop my Air Balloon. That was completely understandable, and it was actually what I was expecting. That or Outrage, I wasn't too sure what move he had, but we're going to activate Mummy and give Flygon Mummy, which is pretty cool. And now we're going to activate the eject button.
Wow, never before seen strategy.
Like it's not like I've used a strategy like 5 videos before this one or anything. And I bring in my Harambe here, and eject button actually cancels U-turn, so that is why my opponent was unable to U-turn out. So now he's going to U-turn out because he has Scarf Flygon. I mean, he could switch out, but U-turn just better. But unfortunately for him, he is locked into U-turn, so he pretty much had no other choice to get pursued and gave me that Mummy. Usually if Flygon has U-turn, it's likely choiced, though I mean, I have seen like Flygon that aren't choiced that run U-turn, but usually that means they're choiced, though I could be wrong. But now I have my Mummy, or now I have Mummy, so my True One is gone, so this is pretty good for me. I'm able to go for the Earthquake the following turn, thanks to me not having my True One anymore. Gonna go for Earthquake, and we're actually able to 2-hit KO Registeel. I was hoping we would be able to do that because this Registeel is pretty fat, and I was just hoping that Slacking had the power, the juice to knock out this Registeel. But thankfully, the 2-hit KO looks like, you know, it is gonna come to life, and this Registeel isn't going to be able to get up Stealth Rocks unless he wants to try and switch around my Slacking. I was debating on going for Facade this turn, but I literally have no reason to. I actually have Facade on the Slacking because usually when they see I have Mummy, their first reaction is just to burn it or status it, and then that's where Facade comes through, and you have like a 140 base power nuke, and you're like, crap, man, why I status the Slacking? I have life regrets. So yeah, the Slacking set isn't really supposed to be the most viable thing in the world. It's just a fun thing to use. Like, Mummy King has been around since Gen 5, so I'd be surprised if you guys haven't heard of it before. But now I'm gonna bring him. Oh, no, I'm not gonna bring in the Flygon. My opponent's gonna bring in Flygon. He is Choice Scarf Flygon. He's gonna hit me up with the Choice Scarf Earthquake. I'm hoping Slacking can tank this because, you know, I do have some HP investment, I believe. I don't remember my exact EV spread. I'm assuming I have like speed and attack, but I could be wrong. But I'm gonna go for Facade here, knock out the Flygon. I do have Ice Punch, but Facade is just, I have on these Facade, okay? So we're actually gonna live the poison at red health. We're able to get 2 kills with Slacking, but my opponent brings in the Espeon here. The shiny Espeon looks so gross, oh my god. It doesn't look like awful, but it's just that green, that shade of green just looks so awful. Ugh, it's not my favorite. Like, regular Espeon looks so much better than shiny Espeon. This is not my favorite shiny. But now I'm gonna bring in Microphagus here, my Catch These Hands. It should be able to, you know, scare out the Espeon because Shadow Ball and stuff. So my opponent's gonna make a hard switch into his Toxicroak, as I actually just go for knockoff, expecting him to switch out, but he makes a smart play. I go for knockoff, and it actually just knock off items, so he's 100% a Z move, unless he's like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like the only option unless he was like holding a Mega Stone for some reason. So he's actually going to pull a switch into Espeon here, expecting me to go for Will-O-Wisp, which was a pretty smart move. He's able to bounce back Will-O-Wisp, but the bird nerfs make it so like I really don't care about Will-O-Wisp, you know, being on me. Like, my Slacking already did work, so this Clefairy is pretty much as a support horde at this point. And me being burned really doesn't impact me at all because I also have Pain Split, so I mean, the more health I lose, the better off I'm going to be. Now my opponent's going to pull a Heart Switch again, not wanting to take a knockoff, and he's going to bring in his Toxicroak once again, as I just go for knockoff again. I'm not really going to overpredict because I have no reason to overpredict at this point. So I'm going to take more burn damage, which is fine and dandy, but I was expecting my opponent to switch out again to bait in the Will-O-Wisp. So he's going to pull a Heart Switch once again and bring in his Shaman this time around, as I do believe believe I actually go for the obvious Willows. No, I actually go for knockoff. Okay, I was just making sure I predicted the switch right, because I would have been pretty sad if I didn't. So I go for knockoff. We're able to knock off the life orb, which means, you know, offensive shaman isn't as scary as it could be, because freaking seed flare with the -2 spit off drop is just a scary thing to play against. Here my opponent actually pulls a hard switch into Toxicroak. He actually predicted me to make a switch into my Goodra to pivot into Seed Flare, which was kind of risky, but it does make sense, so props to my opponent for making that play. And now I'm like, I can take, you know, any one attack from this Toxicroak, but then I realized, I remembered like 5 turns ago that I freaking knocked off and I didn't knock off an item, so I should have known better. He's obviously a Z move, but I just kind of stayed in and let my Goodra get freaking destroyed by this acid downpour. So my opponent's gonna go for acid downpour with his Toxicroak, and it's pretty strong attack at neutral. I don't think Goodra's gonna be able to live it, even though I max hit points. So I'm gonna get acid downpoured, and unfortunately Goodra is going to go down. So a little bit unlucky, but my opponent actually outplayed me pretty well there, so he kind of deserved that kill. And now I'm gonna bring in my Glalie here, my Mega Glalie, and I should be able to outspeed this thing and knock him out with the Earthquake. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve here with my Glalie, just because I have no reason not to. And Kamikaze, one of my favorite Mega Evolutions of all time. I don't know what it is about Mega Glalie, I just love it so much. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the what's the ability called? Refrigerate, stab, return, and we're actually able to easily knock out Toxicroak. I also had Earthquake, but I just want to go for Refrigerate, return, so don't judge me. Now my opponent brings in Yanmega, and I didn't want to risk this thing being a speed boost Yanmega because that is a concern. Like, Glalie looks like it can clean up this game, but I don't want to risk losing it to speed boost Yanmega, so I'm actually gonna pull a hard switch into my Aquafagus here, expecting Protect, but he ends up, he's actually Choice Specs Tinted Lens Yanmega, and he was bluffing, he was speed boost, I guess, so I kind of outplayed myself there a little bit. I should have just stayed in on my favorite turn, but I was just playing it safe, you know. I didn't want to, you know, lose my Glalie at that point. So yeah, he's gonna go for this Bug Buzz. He's Choice Specs, he has Tinted Lens, and Mycofagus is gonna easily go down after burn damage. So down goes Mycofagus, unfortunately. We already got the Mummy King off, so I don't really need it anymore. I just kind of sent it out after Slackney died because it was pretty much the least useful member of my team, the most expendable member. Now I'm gonna bring in my Alone Golem here, as I know I can tank a Bug Buzz, I think. So he's actually gonna pull a hard switch into Shaman, and I just go for Explosion because I literally just want to clear the Explosion. That's the only reason why I brought in Golem, because I want to go for Bolt Beam Explosion. So I go for my, you know, Electric Explosion, and it actually almost knocks out Shaman, which is absolutely absurd. And yeah, we're gonna get knocked out by the Explosion, but that's whatever. Now I get to bring in my Kevin here, my Durant, and I do have the Z move on Durant. I actually have Z Hone Claws. Now if my opponent does have the Hidden Power Fire, she will easily knock me out, or he will knock me out, but I'm kind of just hoping that he doesn't have the Z or the Hidden Power Fire, though most Shamans do cure Hidden Power Fire, but you never know. I just go for Z Hone Claws because I wanted to use it anyway, because Mega Glalie can potentially win the game at this point, but I want to use a Durant a little bit in this battle. But it looks like he does not have Hidden Power Fire. He actually told me he has Hidden Power Ice for Gligar, which kind of makes no sense, but whatever. I'm gonna go for X Scissor here, and at +2 we're gonna easily knock out Shaman, and after the Hone Claws we cannot miss, even though we have Hustle, which is pretty handy for Durant. And now my opponent's going to bring an Espeon here. Unfortunately, Espeon does outspeed me, and we should be able to tank a Psyshock or whatever move he wants to go for, but Dazzling Gleam, yeah, I forgot Durant's special defense stat is like negligible. So down goes Durant to the Dazzling Gleam, as now I'm going to bring in my Kamikaze, my Mega Glalie, and I'm just going to go for return. We should be able to outspeed Espeon, but it actually outspeeds me. I don't remember Mega Glalie's exact speed stat, but I guess it really isn't all that high. But yeah, we're not going to die from Psyshock, thankfully. Now we're able to retaliate with a Stab Return, and it's going to easily knock out Espeon. And my opponent's last, I do believe, is, I don't remember actually, sorry, it's actually Yanmega. So he's going to bring in Yanmega here, and I could knock him out with the return. I could easily knock him out with the return, but what is the fun in that? I can just go for Stab, Refrigerate, Explosion. So we have the Galvanize Explosion and the Refrigerate Explosion. So we have the Bolt Beam Explosion coverage. We're going to easily knock out Yanmega. He could have been Focus Sash, it would have been kind of funny, but I already knew he was specs looking at that damage from Cophagus. But we're going to Explosion. We're actually going to get knocked out first, so we technically lose this battle, but I'll call it a tie because I went for Explosion, but I could have just won the game with return. So that was a fun battle against Dean. I literally had no reason to tie that game besides just the fact that I wanted to go for Bolt Beam Explosion. Okay, so I mean, it was a fun battle. Both me and my opponent had a lot of fun. And it was a pretty close battle. It came down to the wire. I definitely could have just won the game straight up. I just went for return, but like I said, there was no fun in that. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this Wi-Fi battle. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it's much appreciated. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, what is your least favorite RU Pokemon to play against and you think is actually extremely strong and just overall you just hate facing it in general? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm sure there are many RU Pokemon that fit this category. Now, there's definitely a few Pokemon that fit this category, but I'll just narrow it down to one. Doublade. I cannot stand Doublade. I don't know what it is. I know it has commoners, but when you have base 150 defense that gets boosted by Eviolite, like, no. Stop. Get some help. Like, that's bulkier than Dusclops. It has access to Sword Stance and priority moves, and it just has a way to beat curse users like Snorlax with Sacred Sword. It's just absolutely absurd, and I hate facing Doublade. That's why the last 2 RE battles I posted, I'm very, very grateful that my opponents did not bring Doublade, because, dear God, I cannot stand facing that Pokemon. Like, what would I even done in this game if I faced Doublade? Like, my best bet would have been to Will-O-Wisp Hex it with my Cofagrigus, but that's all I would have. That's all I got. Literally, like, what do I even do? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon from the RU tier you despise facing the most. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.
See ya!